Hi there everyone, this is Lilith and welcome back to another YouTube live here on the Alter New YouTube channel. So I'm just going to wait for a couple of you to pop in, wave hello, and then we can get started with our creating today. And today I'm going to be making some cards and I can't wait to show you what I'm going to be working with today. So if you are there, come and say hello, wave hello, pop hello in the comment section. I'm just going to pull myself up on my screen here. That way I'll be able to follow your comments. Hi Sue, hi Lynn. Thank you for stopping by and jumping in. Bonjour Chris. Hi. Oh, the Alter New badge. I don't know if the Alter New badge is there. Yes. I don't know if it's Nicole or but it's one of the two today. So, I'm just going to pull myself up so I can see. So I hope you are all well. I know it's a bit crazy out there in the world now with the COVID-19 virus. It's a bit scary here in Belgium. I think we're still level 2, but I think we're going to quarantine probably pretty soon. But that will just mean more time for crafting. So please stay safe, and what better way not to get infected by staying at home and crafting. So today we're going to do a little bit of crafting, or I'm going to be doing a little bit of crafting. Today I'm going to be using the Build a Flower Ranunculus stamp set, which you can see here. It's on sale at the moment at a fantastic price. I think it's nearly half price. Crafting keeping us all calm. It will keep us all calm. Goedenavond, Veronique. Groetjes, ja? So here we go. This is the lovely set. It's got these lovely, beautiful, one lovely, beautiful flower stamp, and it's a layering stamp, as you can see. Our Build a Flower stamps are all layering stamps, and it has the coordinating die. So I've popped mine in my Alter New pouch with my little zipper. That way my dies stay nice and put. And talking about this stamp set and these pouches, I really need to get some new ones because I've got lots of new dies and they keep falling out of the original packaging. So I need some more pouches. So I'm going to have to order those later on this week. You also get a lovely little leaf, and you also get 2 sentiments. There we go. One saying sending love and hugs, which you can see here, and at the bottom, bit hidden by that die, is be a rainbow in someone else's ground, or I don't know, cloud, or can't really read. Let me just take it out. In someone else's cloud. There we go. So here you can see it at the bottom. So I'm going to be using this set, and I thought I might just slip in a couple of new washi tapes. So if you followed the Facebook Live yesterday on the Alter New blog, Lydia showed you all our beautiful new washi tapes and our new stamp sets. So, our new washi tapes anyway. So I'll probably be using some of those just to coordinate with this lovely stamp set. So just to remind you, we're going to be using the Ranunculus Build a Flower stamp set, which is on sale at the moment. So if you don't have this set, go and grab it, because it's like I said, I think it's not quite half price, but nearly, which is really good value for money because it's a large stamp set. It's a 6x8. So what I'm going to do, oh yeah, before I pop you down, don't forget to share, because you could win a $15 gift voucher. We will pick a lucky winner at the end of this live. Okay, yeah, it's 45% off. So, I mean, it's like nearly 50% off. I mean, it's a huge saving. So I'm going to pop you down and we can get started we can start working. Let me just see how this is. I'm going to wiggle you around a bit. Yeah, with my new setup, I have to kind of play around with the camera a bit so that you don't see all my work stuff for school. That's why I'm just playing around with this a little bit. So I've gotten my Misty out because it's a layering die. And when I'm working upside down on YouTube, I'm hoping very soon to get this whole double camera stuff sorted out. So that way I can just switch. And there we go, and I won't have to work upside down, but this is the best I can do now. So we're just going to be working with that. There we go. Oh, it's still not straight. Oh, okay, let me just try this. That's better. Okay, so this is our stamp set. I've got my MISTI tool and I've got some white cardstock right here. And I'm going to start with just the layering just to show you how this stamp layers up. Thank you for sharing, everyone. So because it's YouTube Live, it means you can share it in lots of different ways. You can share it by email, you can share it on Facebook, you can share it on, well, whatever you want. I mean, there are lots of different ways. Just share it. Bring some people in to create with us today. So this is the stamp set. Okay, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do something very simple. We're just going to create on our card itself. So if you're familiar with the old to new stamps, you will know with the layering stamps, you get 4 or 3 or 2 stamps, and you have to layer them on top of each other, and that will create the layout. So we're going to start with the base layer, which is the fullest layer. So you're always going to work your way from the fullest image to a bit more detail, the final detail, and then an outline. Now you can choose to put the outline on or not. You will see I will do both, and you will get a totally different look just by using the outline or not. So let's just pull this backing sheet off. It has been a while since I used this set, so we're just going to take an eraser and just go over the whole set once more. That way it's nicely prepped for when I use it. There we go. So I'm just going to go all over it. That way I just have to do it once and I don't have to go back in. So I'm just going to take my microfiber cloth and just go over the stamps as well, just to get all those little rubber or razor pieces off. There we go. See, thank you for sharing, Diana. Oh yes, Ruby. I always mess it up. Ranunculus. Just tulip is a lot more easy. Is a lot easier. So I'm going to start with the stamp. So I'm going to kind of place it here. I probably might just offset it a bit. No, I'm going to pop it in the middle. Let's just keep it simple. Or in the middle, not really in the middle, just a little to the side. There we go. First layer. Okay, let's start. I'm going to just swivel this around a bit. Ooh. Okay. Ooh. So, I'm going to use some purples today, just because those were the ones that were speaking to me. Yes, my inks speak to me. I was looking through my inks and I thought I'd just go with purple. So I'm going to start with the lightest color, which is Wisteria. Thank you for sharing, Veronique. So, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Let's pop it onto there. That's really silly me. I'm going to just clean that off again. I stuck it onto the backing paper of the stamp, which is not a good idea. It's not on my MISTI tool. So let's just pop it back on there. The backing paper is off. Okay, so let's just ink this up with Wisteria. So just going to ink this up nicely. Going over it several times just to make sure the ink is evenly spread. And I have noticed that you don't have to press too hard on the ink pad. Just dab it on several times. That way the ink spreads a lot smoother. Okay, I'm going to give this a good press. So this is the base layer. If you wanted to, you can always go back in with a second layer if you wanted to. So there we go. I'm just going to leave it as such because it will dry out a bit and then I can add more layers. So that's my first layer, and now I'm going to go in with the second layer. So this was my first. I'm going to go in with this layer over here. I'm just going to pull this off, and what's easy with when you've got a stamping tool like this is that you can really line it up very simply. Now if you want to, you can have a look at the back of the card where you get the how to line up the image, but this one is pretty straightforward, and all our layering guides are on our website as well, so you can download them if you wanted to. So once you've got this nicely layered up, so I'm just going to wiggle this around a bit, get that nicely. I think I've got it. There we go. I can pop my MISTI tool or the lid down, or the window, I call it a window. I'm going to go in with the next color, which is Hydrangea. And I'm just going to add that to my second layer, my second stamp. Stamp that really nicely and just pop that in. There we go. Give that a good press. Yes, I'm using the eraser just to season the stamp, as we call it. What it does is it takes any tackiness off the stamp, anything that would stick to it, and it just helps the ink sit better on the stamp, and then you don't get any blotchy ink like finish on your stamps, which sometimes happens, especially with newer stamps. But sometimes once you've let your stamps sit for a little bit, they tend to do that as well. So I just like going over them with an eraser, and just the ink sits on it nicely. It doesn't pool into like little blobs, and you get a really nice smooth finish. So here you can already see the second layer on there, and how much definition you're already getting just with 2 layers. So just by already just doing 2 layers, you get a completely different look. So now I'm going to go in with my third layer, which I'm going to line up here like so. It's been a while, and I'm working upside down, which doesn't make it easy, but I think it's like this. And like so, trying to get this nice and... So I'm going to just have a look at the back now. So with that layer, I have to kind of look at the bottom one and line that up with that one. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. There we go. There, I think I've got it. So pop that down. And next color is Andromeda. There we go. Andromeda, I don't know. Pronunciation of words, I don't know. There we go. So this is a lovely dark purple color. I love this set. This is such a stunning set. And give that a good press. There we go. And look at that. So that's just the 3 layers, and look, that's just so pretty. I love this stamp with just the 3 layers. It is really, really stunning and absolutely beautiful. There we go. So for this card, I'm just going to leave it with the 3 layers, and I'm going to add my centers now. So we do have our little centers. There we go. So I'm going to pop in a little bit of gold. So here you can see this is the tiny little center. And I'm just going to pop that here, like so. There we go. And I just want a hint of gold in there. And I'm going to use the Altenew Gold Antique Pigment Ink. I'm just going to ink that up. There we go. And pop a little bit of gold in there. There we go. I'm just going to add my second little layer, because I want it to be nice and vibrant. There we go. So a bit of gold in there. And I've also got a couple of leaves here. And for my leaves, I'm going to go in with kind of a funky color. I'm going to use this set, which is called, ooh, I need some help. I don't know what this set is called. It's got vanilla cream, hazelnuts, almond butter, and milk chocolates. I don't know, maybe the old new badge can come and pop in and tell me what it's called. I have forgotten what this set is called. It's going to come back. I'm really bad with names. Silly me. So I thought it'd be fun just to use this set to add a couple of leaves. So the leaves are here. So it's just one leaf set. And once again, you've got layers here. So you've got 3 layers. One is the outline, and then you've got 2. So the fuller layer and then the detail. I'm just going to use these 2 as I didn't put the outline on my flower either. So I'm going to start with this over here, and I'm going to add it down here. It should just pop in. There we go. Yes, Delectable Delights, that's what it's called. Thank you. Yes, they do sound really good. You would nearly want to eat your inks. So I'm not going to use the vanilla cream. I'm going to go in with hazelnut. This one, it's a lovely color. So I'm doing a bit different. You don't have to do green leaves. You can do whatever color leaves you want to. There we go. Pop that in. There we go. So I've got one in over there. I'm just going to have to turn it around because I want to see how I'm working. Okay. Happy with that. I'm going to do a couple more. I'm going to do another one. Okay, this one I'm going to move up a bit. I'm just going to swivel it around because I want to like make it overflow the card a little bit. And I can't do that at the bottom. So there we go. Next layer. So this is hazelnut once again. Such a pretty color. Ooh, it's so pretty. And I'm going to add another leaf here to the side. Oh, it does, Chris. It sounds like a really yummy box of chocolates. Okay, maybe just, I'm going to go in here. So I'm going to try not to stamp over my flower. There we go. I just want to add a bit of something to the side. Oh, this is the wrong color. I'm going in with the wrong color. Hazelnuts. Oh, that's one of my favorite nuts. Hazelnuts and almonds. I eat loads of almonds every day. I have a couple of them. There we go. So now I'm going to go in with the second layer for this little leaf. There we go. And this is our second layer. So you can see it's a bit more detailed. Yes, the colors are really pretty. I thought they would work really nice together. This lovely purple and then this beautiful brown color, which has a kind of warm tone like the gold. So I thought it would work well with the gold. So here I'm going to add my second layer to my leaf. So I'm just going to pop that on top. Easy with my Misty tool because the layering is really easy. And we're going to go in with almond butter. Oh, Megan, you did. You will love it. I mean, the other purples were amazing as well, but I just love these two. It's just a bit different. And you can never have enough inks. So there we go. That's our almond. Such a pretty color too. Okay, I'm going to go in with this one. Here we go. I'm going to ink it up again with my almond butter. There we go. And just going to flip the card around so that I can add my leaf in here at the bottom. There we go. And last time, there we go. And there we have it. So it's a bit different to have these colors together, but I do like how that looks. So here you can see how I have stamped that. There we go. And I'm going to add a bit of washi tape. And then I'm going to stamp my sentiment. I might just pop it here to the middle a bit. So this is one of our washi tapes, and I don't remember the name of this one because we've got several. We got several of these in different colors. So you've got this one with the nice, lots of purples in it, but I'm going to use this one because I wanted warmer tones with the gold and some brown. And so I'm going to use this one over here. This pretty washi tape. It's got some reds in there and it also has some purples. So it will match perfectly for just a little strip. I like adding little strips onto my cards. So there we go. You can see how nicely those little yellows and oranges work with the browns. So I thought it would work in nicely just to add a bit of warmth to that. And I'm just going to add 2 little strips just for some extra detail. There we go. And now I'm going to add my sentiment. So you can choose, which one do you want? The love and hugs or be a rainbow in someone else's cloud? You choose. First person who gets it in. So what's it going to be? Love and hugs, or sending love and hugs, or be a rainbow? Be a rainbow. Lynn, you've got it. So I'm just going to pop this up my way, just so I'm going to see where I'm going to put it. Okay, I think I've got it. Let's just pop this down. I am going to really put it here, this way. Okay. I hope that's straight. I'm just going to get my ruler, which I can't, oh, it's over here. Oh, there we go. I'm just going to have a look. Yeah, that should be okay. So I'm going to take some black ink for this. I do like my sentiments in black ink. Or we could go with the darkest of the purples. No, I'm just going to go with black, just to add some contrast. There we go. And 3, 2, 1, press. And this is the Altenew Obsidian Pigment ink, which is my favorite. It's nice and crisp. And you don't have to go back in. As you can see, it has the super crisp image. It's an amazing ink. There we go. And there you have it. I'd probably add a couple of sequins, maybe some gold sequins just to add that touch. But I really love how this turned out. I'm not a card maker. So probably the leaves aren't really in a good position. I should have masked them off and make them come out of there, but I'm pretty happy with that. And I'm going to rummage through my sequins later on and see if I can find anything that would match it. I've got a little bowl with sequins here. I've got these little gold ones, which would work quite well. They're just really large. I'm having a little look. These are very large sequins. They're a bit too large, but I have kind of mixes and matches of everything, so I'll have to go and look through them later on and see if I can find something that would match. Maybe some see-through ones. Oh, this one's too yellow. Well, anyway, I might add a couple of sequins. So that's our first card. Let's just pop this to one side and let's start working on our second. So for our second, I'm just going to need some scrap paper or scrap cardstock because I'm going to cut out my flower. Okay. So let's start. We're going to layer this up again, and I'm going to use my purples once again, but this time I'm going to do all 4 layers. So let's pop them back in the correct order. There we go. So let's start again. Let's try and work a little quicker, and then I'm using a scrap piece of, it's not a scrap piece of paper. It's just a leftover piece of cardstock, smooth cardstock, and I'm going to cut out my flower. So I'm just going to ink this up once again, the base layer with the wisteria of our Ranunculus flower. There you go. Give that a good press. Ooh, I think there was a hair on there because I've got a lovely squiggly line. I'm just going to take that off and I'm going to ink that up once again. Try and cover that all up. I can still see my squiggly line, but it's okay. We're going to add layers on top, so you probably won't see it afterwards. Now I'm going to go in with my second layer. Once again, I'm just going to line this up nicely. There we go. And going to use my hydrangea. There we go. Give it a good press. I always love seeing how these flowers come together when you're stamping them. It's always such a fun process. That was the first thing I thought when I got my first Altenew stamps was, oh, look how pretty I made that. Such a fun thing to do. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go in with ultraviolet this time, and then the Andromeda or Andromeda, I don't know how that's pronounced, is going to be my outline. There we go. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit different from the first one. And now I'm going to use the Andromeda or Andromeda, really have to look that up, for my outline. And you will see when you add the outline, it's going to really make the flower look different. So just going to line that up really nicely. There we go. Hope that's okay. And I'm going to ink this up really nicely. And what's fun about this one is you don't really have to worry about the center because it's already in the outline. There we go. There you have it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that and I'm going to cut it out using the die. So I'm going to take my die here and I'm going to take a little bit of tape. I just use simple painter's tape for this. So you can see how different this one looks, and I didn't put the lining up correctly, but it will be okay for today. There we go. So this is the die. I'm just going to line that up nicely. I just put a bit of tape on there so it doesn't move around too much. This one is pretty large, and I don't think it will fit in our mini blossom, which is only 3 inches wide. So I'm just going to take my larger tool and pop it in there. There we go. I'm just going to run it through. Once should do. And there we have our flower. It's so pretty. There we go. So I thought it'd be nice just to add a fun background using some of our washi tape. So I've got my flower over here. So there is some tape I haven't used yet. I haven't used this one, which is really pretty, and I've forgotten the name. Silly me. Oh, and I love this one as well. Ooh. I'm saying ooh to lots of things. Okay, I think I'm going to use the gray here, and I've forgotten what it's called, but I'm sure someone is going to pop in and help me. No. So this is what I usually do when I've got tape and I want to pop it onto some cardstock. I kind of line up the tape with my craft mat just to start, like so. I'm going to line it up with one of the thicker lines. There we go. Oh. I'm gonna get my card away. Let's just get this lined up first. Okay, there we go. So I've got that. And then I can just pop my card into place. And then I just roll my tape out and over. There we go. And usually that works really well. There we go, marshland washi tape, thank you. Oh, I know they are so pretty, but I mean, they go a long way. I mean, I've still got all my other ones, and I still have a long way to go. So I'm just going to cut off the edge here. Ooh, there we go. Look how pretty that is. I mean, instantly different background. And I thought it'd be nice just to break that up a little bit. And I pulled out another washi tape, and now I don't know where it is. Where did I put my... Oh, here it is. Oops, silly me. And this one is called Navy Gold Trim. So I haven't used this one yet. So I'm going to have to get all the tape off of it. There we go. Pretty simple to do. There we go. Sorry about that. My arm is sticking in the camera. I'm just popping it into my little table bin. So this is the navy blue, the navy trim. Just going to... There we go. Might just be fun to have a little piece breaking it up here. There we go. Oh yeah, washi and washi, that's going to be a bit of a problem. So because the washi tape is pretty smooth, sometimes if you're going to stick washi on top of washi, it might not hold. So I'm just going to try and get that down and then just flip it over and tuck it underneath. that should hold. There we go. Okay, give it a good press. So there we have it. And that is my little flower. It's so pretty. So I'm going to pop that onto some foam dots. There we go. Just going to pop a couple of them in the middle. My also favorite little foam squares. They're not, but I'm trying to use them up. There we go. So I'm going to pop my flower on there. Just going to... There we go. And that is already looking very, very pretty. Now, for my sentiment, I'm going to use my Hugs and Kisses. I'm just going to take another piece of leftover white cardstock. I'm just going to take an acrylic block. I know it's such a pretty washi tape, this one. It is stunning. There we go. I'm going to ink the hugs, sending hugs, love and hugs. I'm going to just ink that up with some obsidian black ink. And I'm just going to stamp that onto some white cardstock. There we go. And I'm just going to cut that out with my scissors. I know, I'm crazy. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to do a little bit of fussy cutting around this. There we go. I'm using my large scissors, I know. I just can't do small scissors, I don't know why. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to pop that. Oh, it smudged a bit. There we go. I'm going to pop that on there. I should have let the ink dry a bit because it did smudge a bit, but I'll do it again afterwards. There we go. That's just to show you there. So that's my second card. Yep. And the last one is going to be really easy. It's just to show you how you can use the set in a very, very simple way and still get something really pretty. And I've got washi tape sticking to my jumper. There we go. So I'm going to pop that back in here. Okay, let's go. So I'm going to pop my washi tapes away. And I'm just going to quickly create a background for my next card. So I'm going to use the Be a Rainbow sentiment, Be a Rainbow in someone else's cloud. And I'm going to create a background using this stamp. So I'm just going to start stamping at the top. Ooh, that's a bit off. Oh, and I can't find, oh, there it is. Got a bit of ink on my acrylic block. Okay, so I'm going to start. And then I'm going to ink it up again. And you could do this in a lighter color if you wanted to. I'm going to do this in the darker black just because I want to. I'm just going to create a fun background just by alternating the stamp right side up, upside down, right side up, upside down. And I'm just going to work my way down like so. So I'm trying to kind of link them up a bit. work upside down. There we go. Give it a good stamp. Okay, it's a background. It doesn't have to be perfect. I love this technique. Oops, I wiggled a bit. There we go. And this stamp is really nice for this because it's kind of centered here, like it starts wide and then it goes out and then it centers back in. So it's pretty good for this kind of technique. Work it upside down again. There we go. Ink it up again. There we go. You can create some really fun backgrounds just using your sentiments. I did this kind of technique with the Across the Pond stamp set, which is one of my favorite sentiment sets. There we go. Oh, I'm getting a lot of ink on my acrylic block. There we go, pop it off. Upside down again. Just going to fill this up. I'm going to add one more over here. There we go. It's like this. There we go. Okay, so I've got my background done. There we go. I'm just going to clean up my stamp. Pop it back on, and now what I have done is I have some pattern paper. This is 6x6 pattern paper, and it's from the, oh god, Floral Garden, I think, paper pack. Oh, I might need a little bit of help with that one. I just pulled it out just before I went on air, so I'm going to use this one. And I'm just going to take my outline stamp and maybe just close the black ink. I'm going to take my outline and I'm going to use my acrylic block from Altenew. There we go. And I'm going to use the hydrangea and just ink that up. And I'm going to stamp that onto my pattern paper. So this is really fun pattern paper because you've got kind of a gradation between this lovely soft pink going up to this really kind of gray with a hint of a kind of a blue tone. So I'm going to try and get some of those colors in there. I'm just going to give that a good press, just the outline. There we go. And once again, I'm going to take my outline. So I'm going to take the die, line that up like so. Just going to get a bit of tape. There we go. Just tape that down. And once again, I'm just going to run this through the machine. Oops. There we go. And there we go, just going to cut that out. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. Yeah. This, oh, is this from the celebrations? I don't know. So there we go. There we go. We've got a little flower cut out. Okay, and I'm going to kind of pop it in this direction. So we don't really need a sentiment because the sentiment is all over our card. So all I have to do now is pop it onto some foam dots. And these are awful. Okay, it's going to be double foam dots. There we go. They're not dots, they're squares, foam squares. There. Just going to pop that in the middle. Really simple and really fun. There we go. And if you wanted to, you could always add a bit of washi tape as well to this one. I've got some nice black washi tape. It'll be fun to use. A little black stripe here. No, I don't like that one. Maybe some gold. Gold is always nice. Gold. Some gold. There we go, some gold. A little strip of gold. I'm just going to add a bit of tape. I don't know if the gold will work on there. We'll see. A bit of gold tape. I always like the idea of something sitting on a ledge. That's why I like adding little strips of tape. Okay, there we have it. So 3 cards with, sorry about that. The others are on the floor. Kind of dropped them. 3 cards with the Build a Flower Ranunculus stamp set. There we go. As well as some of our new washi tapes. So there you go. So I'm going to pop you back up and just talk you through the different things I did today. There we go. So let's just flip you back up. Went back and I kind of messed up my hair. So today I worked with the amazing Build a Flower sets. I love all our Build a Flower sets because they're so easy to use and you've got everything in one. You've got your stamp, you've got your I'm trying to look for my plastic backing now, which I've kind of lost in all the creating. So you've got, I'm just going to pop it back into the little bag, that way you can see it. So this is our Ranunculus, Build a Flower Ranunculus set, which is such a beautiful flower. And it's a really large one, so you don't need to use many flowers to fill up your project. You can just use 1 or 2 or 3 if you're making a layout. So it's a fabulous set. It comes with 2 coordinating dies, 1 for the flower and 1 for the leaves. And I love our Builder flowers. I love our painter flowers. If you haven't seen, we also have a painter flower stamp set, which means it's just the outline and you can paint your flower, and it's a much smaller set, and the subscription is also a little bit cheaper, which means it's a lot fun. It's really fun to use. So I'm going to show you my 3 cards, and they are completely different, just using the same stamp set. So I'm going to try and hold them up. Here you have them. So this was the first one where I stamped directly onto the card with three of the 4 layers, and I added some lovely leaves, and you can see how soft that brown has now dried, and it's really in the same kind of shades as that gold and as that washi tape on the side. So I did want to use a bit of our new washi tape. So that was the first one. Then this was the second one where I stamped the flower once again using our lovely purple inks, and I stamped all 4 layers and then cut it out and then popped it onto some cardstock. But before doing that, I added some washi tape, and this was the washi tape I used. It's a really subtle washi tape, and it goes with so many things, so it is really lovely. I also added a bit of navy trim to it, which is this one, just to anchor everything, and it also serves as a ledge for my sentiment here. So that was the second one. And the last one, I created a fun background using the sentiment, and then I just popped a flower on top using just the outline and stamping that onto some pattern paper. What you could also do is just take your watercolors and some watercolor paper and create a really fun background using your watercolors, leave that to dry, stamp the outline, maybe in some really soft gray or something really subtle, and then cut it out. You can get this really fun effect as well. So lots of possibilities with this stamp set. Oh, thank you. I'm always really nervous when I'm making cards because I'm not really a card maker. I usually just make scrapbook layouts, but I did want to do a variation of things, which usually when I make a layout, I would like stamp lots of flowers and then just put everything together. Whereas when I'm doing cards, I can create several cards and use different techniques. So I hope you enjoyed this YouTube live featuring our Build a Flower Ranunculus stamp set. If you haven't got it and you do have some spare cash, go over to the Altenew website and go and get it, because we've got a huge promotion on it today. So there you go. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be back next week with another YouTube live. It's going to be 4 YouTube lives for me this week, no Facebook lives, just because of the time change that has already taken place in the United States with daylight savings time. We only do that at the end of the month, so I have to go on earlier, and on Thursdays I can't because I have cello lessons. So it's going to be YouTube from me this month. So I'll see you next week with some fun stenciling, and I'll try and use some of some fun products as well. So there you go. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a lovely evening or day wherever you are. Dankjewel Veronique. Slaap lekker. So Veronique just said sleep tight. I'm going to work a little bit for school. I have to write down some, I have to mark some oral presentations. So I have to put everything onto the evaluation tables, and then I will go to bed. So have a lovely day wherever you are. Happy crafting. Keep safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you next week. Bye.